Twisters, the newest movie out on the big screen. Let's talk about it. So I have just come back from seeing Twisters, and if you can feel it, chase it. Now, Twisters, look, it's been a long time since I saw the original Twister. Like a long time, man. But, I'm always up for like these disaster films. I don't know, there's just something about a disaster film that just is so satisfying. Don't know why, it just is. Love those type of movies. Even if they're horrible, still love them just because they're a lot of fun. Now, the trailers looked incredible. Glenn Powell is in it. And I love Glenn Powell. I think he is just getting better and better and better. Then you bring in also Daisy Edgar Jones. She's been incredible in like so many movies recently as well. And then you got Anthony Ramos as well. And it's like a trilogy of perfection going on here. What could possibly go wrong with this movie? Nothing. Because this movie is absolutely insanely fun. This movie is so freaking fun, man. I'm not even kidding with you. See this on the biggest screen possible. I'm telling you right now. I saw it on IMAX. Oh, that opening scene. The opening scene is in like some of the craziest stuff you will see. But it's the sound design. The roar of the tornado. The different metals breaking apart. Just surrounding you. It made you feel like you were there. And then the visuals. Seeing how, like, you felt the power. You heard the power. You felt it on the screen. You saw it. Was on a whole nother level. You have to see it on the bigger screen. I'm telling you now, because that, just the sound alone was just so incredible. And then the visuals, I'm sitting there like, oh, when you see the big tornadoes come, oh, and then you see it in the trailer with the fire tornado, oh, just gorgeous to watch. The cinematography in this was fantastic. The visual effects were great as well, especially when you're seeing buildings be destroyed and torn apart, just being ripped from the ground into this tornado. Incredible. Just looked, it was epic. Epic on scale. Fantastic. Now, the story, this is all about them trying to figure out a way to stop a tornado. We've seen it in the trailers and that's the main story, is how can we stop this? Now, something happens in the opening, which was insane, that leads onto this. And this is where we get introduced to our main characters that we are following. And Kate is a very interesting character because of what she's experienced and how she's dealing with it. And then you have Javier, who is played by Anthony Ramos, who is also part of that. And he has the trauma as well. And he's trying to do something like that. And they throw in like this little twisting where you're kind of like, oh, I didn't think it was going to start like that. And then you get introduced to Tyler, who is obviously played by Glenn Powell, who is just a hoot of a time. That character is a hoot of time. But when you start to really peel back the layers of the characters, especially Tyler, and you start to understand what he is and who he is, you start to get an appreciation for these characters. And then when things are going on, you're rooting for these characters. You want them to succeed this whole entire time. And it's just that chemistry and those arcs that they all go on that intertwine with each other that worked really, really well for me. Now, obviously, this is just a disaster film, so don't expect the story to be like, yo, man, we're fighting for this and that and this and we're going for the throne or anything like that. Don't expect that type of level of storytelling, because that's not what this is about. It's a very basic story with basic stuff on how we're going to destroy a tornado. But the characters themselves is what makes you engage, and the performances. Glenn Powell is absolutely fantastic in this movie. He is so charismatic, man. Dude, that dude, he just looks like you would have so much fun with him. And he just plays his character brilliantly. And when it gets to the emotional parts and he needs to be emotional, he is. And it's great. And then you got Daisy, who is just an up-and-coming actress who is just getting better and better with each film. I can't wait to see where these two go. And then you throw in Anthony Ramos. We know what that guy's like. We know how good he is. And that trio was just everything. And they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. And man, it just is just one of those movies where you're just sitting there and you're on the edge of your seat. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. Like, you're sitting there and these tornadoes coming and you're hearing the roar and everyone's just dead silent. Just completely and utterly dead silent as this roar of a tornado comes. It's an experience, man. Something that I haven't experienced for a while, where you're just sitting there and you feel the roar of this like tornado. You feel the power. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Like, the closest thing that recently that I would say to that would be like a Top Gun Maverick or Ford v Ferrari, something like that. When you hear that sound design and you're like, that feels like it's right there. That's what this does as well. And like, just incredible sound design. The comedy as well. This had a lot of comedy in here. Like, they got the balance right between comedy and seriousness. When it needed to be that serious tone, it was. When it needed that comedy relief, it was. And it wasn't a forced comedy. It was this subtle comedy that is just in the performances alone of a Glenn Powell. That guy's comedic chops and timing is just getting better and better and better. And it's just those little subtle lines where you're cracking up laughing. The mother of Kate as well is hilarious. Like, that whole sequence with her, the scene was incredible. I really like that. That was hilarious. I mean, the whole theater was laughing. Like, this was a really, really good experience. And I really dug this film. I really did. Like, it has its destruction in here, man. Like, don't get it wrong. You're going to see death and destruction. This movie doesn't shy away from that. It's brutal. Like I said, the opening scene is so freaking brutal, man. It really is. And I was sitting there after that first scene, like, just like, holy moly. Like, they set the tone of what this movie is. They set the tone that this is not your happy, lovey-dovey movie. This is serious. People are going to die. People are going to get hurt. And just watching the destruction was great. And then obviously you have the other side characters in here. There are a particular group that you're going to absolutely hate. I hated them as well towards the end. I must say, the guy that's playing Superman is in here as well. He was pretty good in this movie as well. I'm excited to see how he goes as Superman. But the character he plays in there, you guys aren't going to like him. I'm telling you that now. But I really, really enjoyed this film. I had a great time with it. It was fun. It's everything I thought it would be. That's really what I thought. I went in there thinking, look, I just want to see destruction, death, some fun performances, a little bit of comedy here and there, just this nice story. And that's what it delivered. The expectation I had, it delivered on that. And that's all I can ask for this type of film. So let me know what you guys thought of Twisters. If you have seen it, smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.